It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the football team and the Cowboys on Monday Night Prime Time.
GA's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Washington football team. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here is Washington now backed up a bit to start their first drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Here's Rypien. He's got it complete to Clark. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Rypien. He finds his man, complete. That's one. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw it is Rypien. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 49, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So here come the Cowboys onto the field with excellent position to get things started. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
On play action, Aikman. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, here's Smith again. And he's going to be stopped close to the 1st down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 23. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Smith. Shifts by him. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Aikman. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They go play action now. Aikman. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. and the first play will be a field goal try. And his kick here is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board, and a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Clark. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Rypien to pass. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Aikman will throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The timeout here is we got a player shaken up, and that's Johnson who's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. on third down. Smith. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Smith. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Out of the gun, it's Aikman. That's complete to Smith.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they were backed against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Rypien. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. from the 17. Rypien. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Rypien looks to throw it again. Oh, going for Sanders downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Second and 6. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, and ambitious effort, but it's well short. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Martin will return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Smith, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now it's Aikman. Airing it out deep for Smith. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Smith. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Second down at 4. They'll run it again with Smith. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On a slant, he's got Sanders. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Let's go. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. They're going to go play action here with Rypien. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun is Rypien. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pick-off.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of this caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They will throw on 3rd down with Rypien. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's Washington with a football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Washington on 3rd down They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he comes back with one complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Here's Rypien. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
To throw again is Rypien. And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he's got this down to the 35. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now we've got whistles here before the snap, and I believe this is going to be on Washington. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Hands it off out of the gun. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. To throw it is Rypien. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Warren. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. On 2nd and goal, Rypien. Over the middle, complete. It's Warren. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So the field goal got him back within 1 score, and now the focus lies on this onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Smith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.